Hey, have you ever wondered how to pick companies that will actually make you money in the stock market? I know that you have. If that's you, you are in the right place. Okay. Well, one, first of all, tell me what place you're actually in physically in the comments. And I'll let you know no matter where you are in the right place. So, time and time again, I'm sure you've heard people say, oh my gosh, the best way to start investing in individual companies and stocks is to look around your house and say, I use Colgate, maybe I should invest in Colgate. I have a Mac, maybe I should invest in Apple. I have, I don't know, I wear Gap, jeans, maybe I should invest in Gap. And people will tell you to start investing there. But the truth is, I don't know if that's the best piece of advice you can get. But you ain't have to hear from me because I decided I'm the budgetnista, not the investinista. Now, my investing coach, she doesn't call herself the investinista, but that's what I'm gonna call her right now. Teri Ijeoma. Teri has been in education for 10 years. So y'all know I used to be a teacher for 10 years. And Teri was officially, well, honestly, it's been longer than 10 years because teaching people how to invest is also education, but I'm talking about formal education for 10 years. Teri has taught over 35. Meanwhile, let me bring Teri up. I'm all talking about her. Like, let's bring her up. What we talking about? Hey, Teri.
Hey, you over here calling me the Investinista. I'm like writing notes. I'm like, okay, new name, Investinista. Okay.
Right. So Teri has taught over 35,000 students how to invest. So if you don't like create courses and things online, you might not be familiar with this platform called Teachable. Teachable is a huge online course where a lot of people build courses. I'm talking about tens of thousands. And was it 3 years in a row or 2 years in a row, Teri?
Three. Yeah, 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, Teri had not the number one investing course, not the number one finance course, the number one course, meaning more people signed up for Teri's course than any other course on the platform. Right? Your girl was putting up numbers, okay? Many of those people making $1,000 in a day and more. And personally, not to tell her business, but she did put it on social media. I have seen Teri make, is this your third time now making almost $1 million, either $1 million or almost $1 million with one trade?
Oh yeah, I've done actually more than three.
Let me tell you, I think the first time I saw Teri do that, she was on this show called Karen Hunter.
Yeah.
And what did you start with? Was it 200,000, 250?
I think it was like around 250, 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Teri took a trade. A trade is when you've bought some stocks and you are going to sell it ideally for a profit. So Teri took a trade where she, of course, 250,000 is a lot of money, but to turn 250,000 into 1 million, I'm not going to pretend like she's going to get you there. I'm just saying this is someone who has done all the things and comes from a space of education. Plus, she's my friend and she's my personal investing coach, although I don't be listening sometimes. But I know that you guys are going to listen. I know that you guys are going to listen. And so we welcome Teri. Hey, Teri.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? You know what the best thing about the making $1 million with Karen was?
Mm.
I actually got to give about $450,000 of it to a nonprofit charity. And yes, and so now I guess it's called the Hub with Karen Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're actually going out and doing all these stories and like communication around Black people around the world because of the money we made in the stock market. So like that's the fun part, like what you can
Yes.
do with it.
Oh, so let's talk about that, y'all, real quick before we jump into today's lesson, which is Teri's going to show us how to be able to look at a company and know whether or not this company may or is likely to make us money. So literally by the end of today, Teri's going to start off teaching us. And then by the end of today, well, not today because we're not here all day, but by the end of our chat tonight, you guys are going to be like, yes, yes, no, you guys going to know how to do it. So I'm excited because, the teacher in me and the educator in us is like, we're not just here to talk about it. We're here to be about it. Yeah. So she's going to show you 3 specific things you should be looking at that give you an indication about, this is a company that might be able to make me some money. So because if not, then we move on. Okay. What was I going to say? I was going to say, well, while we wait to do that, I want you guys to type in some companies in the chat below, because Teri will start to like pull them up and we're going to start to look. So before I forget, I want to remind you that some of you might know already. So this is like almost like I did like a precursor class, a free class, maybe like a few days ago, like a week ago, where I taught you how to prepare yourself to invest, like how to get your budget together, how to make sure your credit is straight, how to make sure your debt is okay. I taught a class, like that's my expertise, like how to prepare your money to invest. That was a free class. And this free class, the companies you should be looking, how to look at a company in these 3 ways to decide whether you should even like look at investing in them. But what's really exciting is that Teri is going to be teaching a deep dive intensive on September 21st, which is a Saturday, right, Teri?
Yep, Saturday.
Yep, it's live, although there's an opportunity for potentially for a replay. But in that class, now these classes, these kind of pre-work classes have been free. That class is not free, but it's totally worth it. It's how many hours? It's like from, is it 11 to 4?
Yeah, it's 5 hours.
5 hours.
We're taking everything we did over the 5-day challenge a while back in April, and we're going to now do it in one day so that by the end of one day, they'll be able to take their first trade.
And so if you are wanting, I'm going to put it right up here. If you are wanting to sign up for that class, it's, what is it? How much is it, Teri? 240?
It's $297.
$297. And then if you want to invest the extra $100 because it'll allow you to have the replay, you can watch it over and over. So by the end of the class, Teri, what will people be able to do by the end of that class?
You will be able to invest in either the S&P 500, the overall market, the Dow, or the NASDAQ. And all of those hit all-time highs today. So I'm super excited about this.
So by the end of that, you will be able to actually invest. Like you'll be able to take a trade?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy the stock, sell the stock, take the trade. Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not promising you're not going to make no $1 million like Teri, but you'll be able to take a trade. And the truth of the matter is that when you have access to make money, like on your own in front of your computer, what would you do with that money? Let me know also in the comments. Like if you were able to trade and say make an extra $300 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month. So many of us want to make extra money, but quite honestly, we're like, when I have the kids, I can't do Uber Eats. I don't have time for Instacart, a second job. But if you were able to, certainly there is research involved and work involved, but at the house, you could have the baby on your hip and you and the baby are both looking at charts, And so if you were able to make an extra, say, $1,000 a month, on average, what would you do with that excess money? You see with Teri's excess, she uses it to be philanthropic. Is there a bill that you would put it toward? Would you say for vacation? Maybe you would finally be like, child, I don't need the second job. I can quit the second job. Maybe you'd be like, you know what? I've been wanting to get my sister locks because we know sister locks are not cheap. Maybe you're like, girl, I haven't got a manicure in how long? And I would love to regularly conduct the manicures. Okay. Ooh, go ahead, Teri.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so for trade and travel, we've been saying like lean into your because for me it was trade and travel at one point because that's what I love to do. So I was paying for hotels with my stock trades and paying for flights and things like that. But now lean into your means something different for me. Like recently I had to pay quite a bit of money to help my sisters and brothers immigrate from Nigeria. Like it's expensive to get visas. So maybe that's it. Or my mom has to get surgery soon. So now I have to like lean into my to take care of a parent or some family member. Or even my cousins are here visiting me in Puerto Rico. So lean into your to be able to like go on trips and take care of your family. So like, what would you all do? I'm excited to see. I'm seeing a lot of like invest, save, but what fun would you have? Like
I see someone said they're going to educate the grandkids. And so just so you guys can see, this is the site. If you go to, it's right here below. If you go to Budgetnista stock bonuses, then you're going to see me and Teri there. And you can scroll all the way down. If you see general admission, $297, VIP admission. This gets you bonuses from me as well as the replay. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly. All right. So let me hold on. What do I have? Okay, no, we're going to add this to stage. We're going to remove that from stage. All right. So we're going to get started. So I see you guys are dropping all the companies that you want Teri to look into. If you have like a laptop and a computer, this might be helpful. So what website, Teri, should they be? I'm going to pull it up because I know you told me. So
we're going to keep.
There you go. No, go ahead.
We're going to keep it simple and we're going to do all the things I'm talking about today in cnbc.com.
Okay.
That's my favorite financial website and also TV channel and app. So I could be anywhere in the world and I can see what they're saying live. So we're going to do that from their website because you can have it anywhere in the world.
Okay, so if you are watching us here and if you can kind of go grab a computer, or you don't have to because we're going to also pull up the site if you don't have both, that's okay. But just know that we're going to be headed to cnbc.com. Whenever I say stuff or whatever below, I'm going to put it, it's going to be right here below. Okay. All right. So, Teri, so you said that there are 3 things we should be looking at. I'm going to pull up the site.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna let educated Teri take over. Go ahead, Teri. What should we be looking at?
So there are 3 things that you should look for when you're looking into a company. First, you want to know, is this a healthy company? So I saw some of you guys put down Nike, Amazon, Apple, even Mary Kay. Like, you also need to know, so let's actually say step 0, I'm gonna give you an extra one. You need to know, are they publicly traded in the stock market? So that's like step 1. You like first, and we can even do this. Like, let's see if Mary Kay is traded in the stock market. So we can Google it, see if it's a public company or a private company. If it's a private company, that means that they don't have any stocks available to the public. But if it's public, then that means we can find it on the stock market and we can invest in it. So that's step 0. We'll give you
step 0. Step 0.
Step 0.
So you would just Google, Teri. You would just Google, is Mary Kay traded on the market? That's what you would Google?
Yeah, like I'm gonna open up another tab and we can actually open that. Here, I'm gonna share my screen again.
Okay. So I'll move this. Okay.
So I'm gonna say stop share. Okay. And then share. I'm gonna share my whole screen because I have a feeling I'll go to some different stuff in a second.
Okay. Okay. So I'm pulling it back up.
Hold on 1 second. All right. Can you guys see Google now?
Yes.
Okay. Or actually, maybe I should just share this tab. But can you see me?
We can see you off the side. Yeah. So how about you just share that tab when it's ready? I'll pull it back up. I can see.
Okay.
So Teri's going to show, because you're right. Step 0, you have to kind of know, because if that company's not traded on the market, you can't buy it in the stock market. So it won't matter.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
You guys see Google?
Yep.
All right. So let's see. Is Mary Kay? Let's actually, I'm gonna write this, but there's a better way to say it. But because we're newbies, you might write this. So let's just see what comes up. So is Mary Kay traded in the stock market?
Okay.
Looks like some other people have been Googling that too, because it came up. So let me see. Yahoo Finance says Mary Kay earns a place on Forbes list, but is it tradable? Let's see. Let's actually say, what is Mary Kay's stock price?
Okay.
Here we go. This answers our question. Is Mary Kay publicly traded? And you see here where it says Mary Kay is an American privately owned multi-level marketing company. So because it's private, that means they don't have stocks for us to buy. Okay. So step 1. So for some people, I saw that you put, one person put Mary Kay in here. Let's look at some of the other companies. Any other ones you see, Tiffany, in the chat?
Yeah, I saw Chipotle.
Okay.
Let's post some of the companies that you want Teri to look up.
So I know that Chipotle is, but let's just go through the steps like a beginner. So is Chipotle, gotta spell it first, right? Though is Chipotle oh, let's say publicly traded. That's the question to ask. Okay. And here we go. Chipotle trades on the New York. So NYSE, y'all, is the New York Stock Exchange. So if anything is on a stock exchange, that means that they have stock that's exchanging hands. So that means it's publicly traded. Okay. And then it also tells you the ticker symbol, which is also important for us. When you're investing in a stock or a company, you need to have a ticker symbol, which is a little abbreviation. So it tells you Chipotle's ticker symbol is CMG. Okay. So the answer to our first question, is it publicly traded? The answer is yes. Yes. Okay. It's publicly traded, and the ticker symbol you'll need to have is CMG if you're doing Chipotle. Okay.
I'm gonna type that in actually. Let me just type 1. Is it a publicly, if I put traded traded company. So
Tell
that's
me,
number one.
that's number one. Tell me one more so that we can just, it's always good to do it 3 times and teach your
Yeah.
word.
Someone else said Pepsi.
Pepsi. Is Pepsi publicly traded? So here you go. So you see here where it says NASDAQ, that's another stock exchange. Remember I was telling you all that you can, as long as they're exchanging stocks, that means that they are publicly traded.
Okay.
So Pepsi is publicly traded and the ticker symbol is PEP.
Okay. All
So if you wanted
right.
to invest in them, that's what you would put into the computer. And
Okay.
that's what we're going to talk about too on Saturday. If you're like, but how do I put it in the computer? That, we'll walk through that.
All right. So that's the number one. If you guys don't have one, go ahead and share the Budget Needs to Live if you're watching live with a family member, friend. This is free, y'all. Go ahead and share the link so people can get some free information. We're talking about ways to pick companies that can actually make you money in the market if you invest in them. And number one way is to find out, is it publicly traded?
Yes, that's first step.
Right? If a company is publicly traded, it means that multiple people can be owners of the company, right? Because a stock, what essentially is a stock, Teri?
A stock is just a share of a company. When a company wants to raise money, they divide their company into shares, into pieces. And then they say, okay, well, we'll sell those pieces to different people. And that's how they make money. So a stock is literally just a piece of a company that they sell to make money, to earn money.
Yeah. And so publicly traded means, has this company been chopped into pieces?
Yep,
And
and started
some
selling
companies
to
are like,
the public.
yeah, some people are like, no. This, like, for example, the Budgetnista is not publicly traded. It's my company.
It's
But
private.
if I wanted to, I could try to, if I was like, oh, I need to raise me a cute little $50 million because I want to do something amazing, I could try to bring my company to the stock market.
Yes.
And then chop it into pieces and then sell it to individual people so I can raise money to run the company. But then I wouldn't be the only owner anymore. Everybody who bought the pieces of the Budgetnista would also be owners, correct?
Yes, exactly. And I actually think that's kind of a fun exercise to think through. So like, say you wanted to raise money for some new initiative and say you wanted to like make, let's say $50 million is a good one. Right now you own 100%. Let's say you divided it into 100,000 shares. So you do 50 million divided by 100,000. What's that? Let me see. Give me a little calculate out. Because somebody on here, I bet, is going to be like, I would buy some. Yes, Tiffany, do it. No. So let me see. So 50 million divided by 100,000 shares would mean that each share would be worth $500. So you technically could divide your company into 100,000 shares, sell them for $500 a piece, and then that would be publicly trading. Like now, well, technically, if you don't do it on the stock exchange, you would be privately giving your shares away. But if you went to a stock exchange and said, hey, I'm going to sell these to the public, that's what you're doing. That's like literally what people are doing to raise money.
Okay. All right. So number one, is it a publicly traded company? So I lied. We're going to do 4 questions you should ask yourself. So now you know how to look that up.
All right. That's number 1.
And I know number 2, let me pull that up.
Okay. Is it a healthy company?
Okay. So I'll bring this back up again.
Yes. So what I was doing just now is you all gave me 2 companies already. We had Chipotle that was publicly traded. We had Pepsi publicly traded. I also saw in the comments, someone asked about Nike. So I'm gonna pull up Nike real quick and get Nike's ticker symbol. So here it says, is Nike on the NASDAQ or whatever? It's telling you it's on the New York Stock Exchange and the ticker symbol is NKE. So we'll need that in a second because to find out if it's healthy, we got to look up the stock. So then the next step, I'm doing 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Amazon as well.
Okay.
Is Amazon publicly traded? The answer is yes. And their ticker symbol is AMZN.
Okay.
So I guess step 0.5 is I'm adding steps. Is you need to look up their ticker symbol. That will help you.
Yes. I was like, you know what? We're gonna hide that one. We're gonna make that number 2, which is look up their You said ticker symbol?
Ticker symbol, yes. Because you'll need to know, like, okay, I got to look to see what the stock is doing if this is a healthy company. So
Mhm.
you need the ticker symbol. And
Yes.
so the last one, Apple is also publicly traded. It's traded on the NASDAQ, which is a technology stock exchange. And its ticker symbol is AAPL. All right,
Okay.
so we got our 5 companies that we're going to be checking on today. Chipotle, which is CMG, Pepsi, which is PEP, and Nike, NKE, Amazon, and Apple.
All right.
All
So
right, so
one, is it
okay,
publicly traded? Two, look up the ticker symbol. All right, let's go.
yes. And now 3, we're going to find out, is this company healthy? And this is where we come to our CNBC tab that we had before. You guys can see CNBC? So now up here in the search, I'm going to pull up the company. And in order to find out if they're healthy, I'm going to look at the news on them. You may also look at the earnings, but let's just first see about their news. And then I'm also going to show you how to look up the trend, but let's first start with the news. So let's look at Pepsi first.
Okay.
There we go. Took it a second. I was like, we put in the right ticker symbol. Give it a second. So you see here, we've got Pepsi up at the top. It has PEP, which is the ticker symbol. And NASDAQ just tells you what stock exchange is traded on.
Okay.
Then we're going to come down a little bit. And at the bottom of this, like we're going to look at this chart in a second, but we're going to move forward. At the bottom, it says latest news.
But wait, right before you do this, Terry, I'd love for you guys to guess. Do you think that Pepsi is a company that could potentially make us money? I want you to say yes, Pepsi, or no, Pepsi. Let's guess. And then when Terry takes us through these like 5 steps, then we'll be able to tell, So we're going to do this with all 5 companies, but let's guess ahead of time. Yes, Pepsi, no, Pepsi. Do you think Terry's going to tell you after looking at these components, whether it's moneyable? Yes, Pepsi. Okay, yes, Pepsi's all right. Let's see. Go ahead, Terry. So now we're looking. Is it a healthy company?
Is it a healthy company? So the first thing is you're going to look at the news about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a quick scan, but
Mm-hmm.
you all would go deeper on all of these things. Pepsi's, and I'll tell you the truth, Pepsi's not one of the companies I generally follow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, I'm looking at this for the first time too, and I'm giving you my honest opinion.
Okay.
So first thing, I'm looking down just through some of the recent news. Pepsi call volume above normal. Call volume just means that people are trading options of it. So okay, people are thinking that it's probably going to go up. Then we're looking here, which consumer goods stock is the best pick? Let's check that out. See what they're saying here. And you would just do this. You would kind of look through the news, see what's happening with the stock right now. Is there anything crazy going on? Like, for example, Boeing has a strike. So that would be something kind of glaring in the news where you would say, is this a good, healthy company to invest in right now? Well, maybe not, because they have a strike going on.
Like, for example, somebody named Yaina said, locally, no, only because she said there's a I guess wherever she lives, there's a plant in Liberty. I don't know where Liberty is closing. So that's like nice little information. Like, oh, I didn't know that. And apparently it's not hitting the news in that kind of way, but it's good to know that a plant is closing, and maybe why is that?
Right. And some of those things might show up in some of these news articles too. So for example, here it says consumer goods stocks like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Procter & Gamble tend to shine during periods of macroeconomic uncertainty due to their so you can read. I know you'll be like, I don't know what it all says, but just read. Try to find out a little bit more about the company. And then I will say, after you look at some of the news about it, what really tells you if it's doing well is look at the chart. And what do I mean by chart? You're going to look at the stock price and see if it's trending up or trending down.
So that's number 4. So is that what you're telling us? Like,
yes, the next step.
Is the stock on an upward trend? Okay, so what does that mean?
What that means is the stock price, has it been going up over time? And it might have had a couple like bumps in the road, but if you look at it over 6 months, 12 months, has the stock generally been going up? So that's what I'm going to do the next step here. I'm going to scroll up inside. We're still in CNBC. First, we looked at the bottom and looked at some of the news about the company. Now we're going to scroll up and look at the chart. And on here, I want you to actually put 6 months in.
Okay.
You get, and that's what I clicked is right underneath the stock price. Before the chart, it has these 1D, 5D, 1M, 3M.
Mhm.
That's just 1 day, 5 days of time, 1 month of time, 3 months of time. I want you to look a little further out. You could look at 6 months or
Okay.
even a year is sometimes good to just see
Okay.
what has this stock been doing over time.
All right. So what are we looking at here? So what are y'all, if is it trending up? Like let's do our homework. Let's look like, okay,
Yep.
so year to date.
So
Okay. Go ahead.
So what I pressed is these arrows on the side to just make it bigger. And
Mhm.
I want you guys to make it bigger. And then at the bottom of the chart, you'll see the time. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So this is we were looking at year to date. So it's
Okay.
starting at January until now. And you can see that honestly, it hasn't moved a whole bunch.
I see it spiked there sometime in the middle.
It did. So price had come down here in March. And then it went up nicely into the June, into the summertime.
Mhm.
Then it came back down to 162.
Oh.
And then it came back up to 174. So it's kind of doing this nice,
Mm.
like up and down, but it has a range, it looks like from 162 to 182.
It's giving emotional roller coaster.
It sure is. It's giving, it's giving you doing a whole bunch and not going anywhere.
I
That's what it's giving.
mean, it's giving girl, tell him no, let him go. Emotional
Right.
roller coaster.
It is
Let me
definitely in my world. It is definitely giving. Go find another stock. That's what it's
okay.
doing.
So then, so because I remember there was a last one final thing, but you could kind of tell already, right? But I know you
Yeah,
had like a fifth thing, which is
the
um
fifth thing is, does it move at least $1 a day?
okay.
And so while you're here in the chart, and I do have some more comments on this. So we
Okay.
haven't yet made our complete yes or no, but
Okay.
I'm giving you things I'm looking at, and then I'll tell you my ultimate decision for Pepsi.
Okay.
Okay. So the last thing I would do is I would find out, because another thing I need to tell you, I'm a trader. A trader means that I'm trying to make money from stocks as quickly as I can.
Okay.
So a buy and hold investor may look at some different things. Like they may look at some more fundamentals, like price to earnings ratios and different things. But if you're a trader, these are the things I'm telling you I would be looking at. And these are like, the topic for today is which companies to make money. So
Mhm.
I'm looking at how am I making money on this stock.
Okay.
So the last thing I want you to look at is, does this stock move? In order to make money off of it, it needs to actually move
Okay.
pretty regularly. So on your chart, there's this section right here that says studies. I want you to open studies, and this is what you're going to type in: average true range. They call it ATR, but average true range. So
Okay.
average, once you start typing in average, it'll usually come up. You see it right there, average true
Okay.
range?
Mm-hmm.
Press on it, and then it'll do this thing down here. Like it'll start coming, it'll have a line down at the bottom. If you scroll over the line,
Let me
you
just
see
hide this
the,
real quick because I think
okay,
my little banner is probably hiding it a little. So let me
okay.
take that banner down so the girls can see. Okay.
Let me see if I can, no, it doesn't really get much bigger. Sorry, guys. But when you scroll over this line, and y'all can just practice this in your free time. So after you hear us, and we're going to go through this with 5 different stocks. So after we do it our 5 times, your
Mhm.
homework would be to like go on CNBC and play with this yourself.
Mhm.
So we went to studies, we added average true range, and now when we scroll over this line at the bottom, it gives us a little box and it tells us what day, it tells us the open and close. That means what price was it at the beginning of the stock market that day, what price was it when the stock market closed that day. And then if you go all the way down to the bottom, you see high, low volume, then ATR, and then it says 14. What that's saying is over 14 days, how much does the stock usually move? Like what's the average move of this stock? And it says 3. That means normally this stock can move about $3 a day.
Okay.
And that's good. So that means, okay, Pepsi passes the test for does it move?
Okay. Because you
That's
said
good.
ideally you're looking for at least $1 a day.
Yes. So
Okay.
that needs to say at least 1. Mm-hmm. As long as it's over 1, then you're good. And the reason was, like, back when I was in education, I wanted to leave my job and I needed to make $300 a day. Well, if I had 300 shares of a stock and it moved at least $1, then I could make my $300 a day.
Okay.
But if it wasn't moving, then I couldn't make any money, so I couldn't leave the school. I would have to keep my job, which I'm not telling y'all quit your job, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you want to make some extra money, it's got to move.
No, this is so. If y'all ready to do some more? Like, y'all ready? Because we're gonna go through all 5 steps again. If you're ready to do some more, say ready. Are we waiting for ready? So I just want to remind you that, like, this is like this kind of like precursor to Teri's more in-depth investing and test intensive. This is just to understand, am I looking at companies in a way that's like, wow, like, look what she just taught us in, girl, what, 15, 20 minutes? These 5 ways to look at a company right away to evaluate, even if I even want to move forward with them. You might be like, so what's the verdict on Pepsi, Teri? Would you or would you not?
My personal verdict is a no on this one.
Okay.
And the only reason is because it hasn't really moved since the beginning of the year. Like, if I was just looking at, is this the best company to give me some upside? And here's the thing, as a trader, we invest in companies that other people would keep for the long run.
Okay.
So we still would invest in healthy companies, probably the same thing that someone would buy and hold. We'll invest in that, but we just get in and out of it, which means we buy it and sell it several times for income.
Okay.
So in this one, I think it would just be one that would be in my portfolio. And sometimes it would make a move, sometimes it wouldn't. But on average, it's kind of just going sideways, going nowhere.
Okay. So
for me, and for my beginner ladies, I'd say, well, maybe not this one. Go pick a different one.
Okay, well, we're about to see because we have 4 more. Okay.
Right.
Well, but real quick before we jump into that, because I don't want to, some of you guys just joined us. And so I want to remind you that, like, let me take this down real quick, that Teri has a deep intensive, because you only have, today is, if you're watching this live, it's Thursday. And so, it's like a day. In a day, class will, to be able to sign up for class, it's going to close. I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick. So Teri has this deep dive intensive happening on Saturday, September 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So 5 hours, meaning, like, tell the kids to go play, tell your partner to feed themselves. Like, and so you can focus. By the end of that, you will be able to buy your first stock or in a company and sell it. And so it's what we're doing now. It's kind of like the precursor. Teri's showing you how to even look at a company before you're gonna buy or sell it. And so I just wanted to show you real quick that if you go to Budgetnista stockbonuses.com, you're gonna see this. As you see, we only have a day. It's 24. Well, just about a little under 48 hours. You'll come here and you can learn more about the intensive. You can decide whether you want general admission, which is $297. And it comes with a session, live training. I'm also going to kick in some free things. 1 month free of the Liberty Academy, Learn to Earn ebook, or VIP admission. For some of you who are like, I might not be able to stay for the whole time, you get the replay with the VIP admission. And I'm going to give you 1 month free to our investing group, which is worth about $1,000. And so, you would just enroll and this will pop up and, you'll be able to sign up. So I just want to remind you that for those of you who might have just come. All right, Teri, so what's the next stock we're going to look at?
We're going to look at Chipotle.
Ooh, so we're gonna start with like Teri, it's the 5 things. Yes. Remember what she said, y'all? Number one, is it a publicly traded company?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then number 2, write it down, look up their ticker symbol.
Yes.
Right? Number 3, we're gonna figure out, is it a healthy company?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Number 4, is the price, the stock price on an upward trend? Is it going up? And then number 5, does the stock price move at least $1 a day? All right. So Chipotle, well, before I want y'all to guess what you think. Chipotle, yes. Chipotle, no. Because a lot of y'all say yes to Pepsi. And it was like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I would have thought Pepsi was a cute girl myself.
Right.
So
and here's the thing about Pepsi. So now that we've looked into Pepsi and we're kind of on the line about it, like just go sideways. The next thing you could do is say, well, what are its competitors? Then that's when you go look at Coca-Cola, you go look at, other companies in the beverage industry, maybe Starbucks, and just see, okay, well, how does Pepsi compare to those?
I
Right?
like that. Oh, real quick question. Someone said, how long will you have access to the VIP admission? No, it's for like if you do forever, right, Terry? Like
It's
the
lifetime. Yep, you
lifetime.
have access.
So if
Yeah.
you do VIP, if you go to budgetnistastockbonuses.com, choose the VIP because maybe you're not available live on Saturday or you want to keep it, for yourself. It's lifetime access.
Yeah.
All right, Terry, let's see. So people trying to get cute now. They're like, no Chipotle. I'm like, well, we gonna see. All right, Terry, pull it up. Let's see.
Okay. I
Right?
see some yeses. I see some nos. Okay, let's do some analysis. And I
Okay.
actually, I have some fun stuff to tell you about this one on Chipotle. So,
Okay,
all
so
right.
step one, is it publicly traded?
Is it publicly traded? The answer is yes. Remember,
Okay.
we Googled and we found the ticker symbol was CMG.
Okay, so number two, we already did that. Found
Yep,
the
there it
ticker
did.
symbol.
And
CMG. All right.
then we are
Three.
on CNBC now. Excuse me.
Mhm.
We're on CNBC now, and we put into the search bar the ticker symbol CMG.
Okay.
And
Now
now
we're
they're
looking at
giving
number
us,
three. Is it a healthy company? Is what we're looking at now.
yes. So now
Okay.
we're looking, is it a healthy company?
Okay.
So we're on CNBC. We're just looking down. We see the stock price. It's $57.88. Some of you guys may know that it recently went through a stock split. It was over $3,000 a few months ago. And then they split, they did like 50 shares for every one share you own. And so that's how we got down to here. But it was an expensive stock.
Mm.
So now you come on down. We're looking at, is it a healthy company? We're going to look at the news first.
Okay.
And let me tell you, every quarter, once a quarter, and so what's a quarter? Every 3 months, they come out with a report about the companies, and that tells you how they're doing. So, and they do it at the end of the quarter. So for us, June, July, August, we're about to have that come up for the last 3 months of the year.
Okay.
So, but every 3 months, that's like one of the best places in terms of news to look at to see, like, are they healthy? How's this company doing? But in the middle, you'll have some other articles talking about the company. So we come down here, we see the latest that's going on with them.
Okay.
Seems like fast food chains might be in a little bit of a tough position. So maybe we read a little bit about that.
Okay.
I think I saw somewhere in here too, Chipotle is about to start using robots in their restaurants, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's actually good for the company. It'll go faster. They'll be able to produce faster. Can you imagine going into a Chipotle and like robots are doing your burrito?
I'm telling you, people replace the machines are replacing us. This is why you got to learn how to invest.
They are, but I mean, if I could always have my stuff done right, but I need the machines though to know how to add extra rice,
guac, exactly.
and add like the extras.
Yes.
Don't be skimping me on my bowl. But so we would look through some of this news, but a lot of the news won't tell us how the stock itself is doing. So we go to step 4.
Okay, step 4. Let me pull up that banner. Hold on. Okay, step 4.
Which is looking at the stock chart.
Okay.
And I tell y'all, I rely heavily on the stock chart because, like I said, you can go through the news, but sometimes the news is subjective. And it won't, and depending on when you're coming in, it may not tell you what happened 3 months ago, right? Like that news didn't talk about the stock split, but that actually was a big deal in the company. So the stock chart, though, can't lie because you can look at the stock price over time and see what's happening.
Okay.
So let's
they say men lie, women don't be lying. Yeah, women lie, but numbers don't.
Right?
Yes.
Charts are forever.
Yes.
So then remember we said we're going to go actually look at a year. So year to date is from January, but I'm going to actually start pressing 1 year. So this will tell us from what are we in September? Last September to now. Now look at this. This looks a little different than Pepsi, doesn't it?
Yes.
So Pepsi was like up and down, don't go nowhere. This one from October all the way to July, it was just up and up and up and up and up. And it does have like this little hiccup here where it's come down some. So it's come down, and you all that will start following it, this was after the stock split. So it
Okay.
was at all-time highs right up here in June. Then the stock had its split and it started falling down, which
Okay.
is normal.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a lot of hype from the stock split.
Okay.
So it'll drive the price up, and they say sell the news. So after the news happens, sometimes it'll lose momentum and come
Okay.
down. But when you start looking at the earnings reports and different things that were coming out,
Mhm.
nothing really that bad happened
Mm.
to Chipotle.
Okay.
Their earnings were still strong. They were doing pretty well. So
Mhm.
I expect that this will actually start gaining speed again.
Okay. Because you can see it's
Because,
starting to come up already.
yeah, because it was already on this really nice uptrend for a while.
Mm.
And you could even start looking at like 5 years out, and it's still on an
Okay.
uptrend.
Okay.
So to our question of is this a healthy company? My answer would be yes, and this number 4 would also support that
Okay.
because it's on an uptrend, and this seems like a good stock that would help us to make some money.
And so what about the fifth one?
Fifth
Does it?
one,
Mhm.
let's go see how much it moves. And it's kind of telling on itself up here because this shows the stock price and then it shows how much it moved today.
Mm.
And when it says close, that means like during the actual stock market day, it moved this much. And this is after the stock market closed. So we already see that it's at least moving $1 here, but let's actually check that. So we're going to go to studies.
So can you slow down? Because people are asking
Yeah.
like, so if you know what? Well, so where did you get studies? Where'd you go to study? Because people are like, wait, where's she going? Where's she going?
Okay. So let's go back. So let's go.
So
And
let's just go to
actually,
CNBC. Yeah, let's just start
yeah,
from
go all the
like
way
child.
back.
We gotta.
All right. So we did CNBC.
Okay, so we're at CNBC.com. Do y'all got it? Say got it. Because, girl, I get it. Because I'm like, hold up. I'm the one with my YouTube. I'm like, what? How do I fix the toilet thing? I'm like, so I get it. Okay, CNBC.com. We're
So
here. Now what?
CNBC.com.
Now what?
And then we go to up at the top. Y'all see the
Okay.
search area.
Yes, I do.
So I typed in my ticker symbol,
Okay.
CMG,
Which is Chipotle.
which
Remember, we
is
looked up
Chipotle.
Chipotle ticker symbol. So that's what we got it. Okay. And it pulls up this screen. Perfect.
Pulls up this screen.
Okay.
Then if you're in the smaller screen, so you might be on your cell phone, let me tell you, this little plus FX, if you press this, it will give you studies. But what I did is I made it bigger. So I pressed the arrows, and now you can actually see the word studies.
Okay.
Does that?
So you guys got it? So you go CNBC.com, type in the ticker symbol in the search box. It brings up the general screen for that stock. And then studies is either FX, you said, or if you make the screen
smaller,
bigger, okay.
it's FX.
Mm-hmm.
If it's bigger,
it just says
studies.
the word studies. Got it? Y'all got it? Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get it at first, but we got it.
That's why we're doing it 5 times. By the last one, I feel like y'all gonna be great. Y'all gonna know this.
And studies does what again? Studies allows us to see what?
So now in the studies, there's a lot of different studies, but I'm just going to show you one.
Okay.
We're looking for average true range. And if you just start typing in average, the first one to pop up is this one, average.
So we would click on studies and there's a drop down.
Yes.
And a search kind of like box in the drop down.
Yes.
Perfect. And you were typing in average true range. Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And then down here at the bottom, average true range comes up, but you got to make sure that you all have this on a bigger time frame, like 1 year or a month. If the chart is just on 1 day, then average true range is going to tell you like during this couple minutes, how much did it move? You don't want that. You need to know over on a day, how much does it move? Okay. So let's go back to our year-to-date chart.
Okay. So year-to-date, right? Clicking right at the top, it says,
or actually, you could even do 1 year.
1 year.
You just need
you see, it's right there under the number. Like it closed at right here. It says 57.97. You see 1 day, 5 days, 1 month, 3 months. So you click 1 year here. At least to start to look after you've gone to studies and average true range.
Yes.
Okay. And let me just take this thing off the bottom so that way the girls can see. And the guys, I know there's some guys here.
Yes. Hey y'all.
Right here. You're allowed as long as you keep it cute. So right at the bottom is that black line at the bottom that we're really
looking for. And this will tell us the average true range. And when you scroll over it, you can go up to the top and see the date. So it'll tell you, okay, on this day, this is what happened to the stock price. It opened at 63. It closed at 63. Didn't really
Okay.
move much that day.
Okay.
But down here at average true range, ATR, it says 1.
Okay.
1 is good. That means it moves about $1. Let's
Okay.
go over
Oh,
here
I
in
see
June
ATR 2. Okay.
2. So on this day, the average was about $2 in a day that it would move. And
Okay.
you're going to notice that this gets different depending on each stock. So, but at least Chipotle is moving about 2. So that's
Okay.
good. This means
Okay.
that this is something worth us investing in. Like we could actually make money from this stock.
Okay. So we did the 5 things. Ooh, I feel so smart. Look at me. Watch teach it. Right? Educated Teri, right? So okay.
Right. So
First
now
of all,
somebody's gonna come to you in the barbershop or in the beauty
yeah, I'm
shop
not
and
doing that.
they're gonna say, ooh, I'm gonna invest in shea butter or
And they're like,
something.
oh, girl, what's that? What's strange? Is he keeping
Right.
it?
And then your first step is you'll be like, let me see if they're traded publicly in the
Yes.
stock market.
Yes. Well, let's
And
see
then,
and then I'm gonna say, well, then if they are, what's the ticker symbol? Right? And then I'm gonna be like, okay. Then is it a healthy company? Let's see what the news is talking about. What's the tea about this stock? Oh, the girls are talking about leaving. The people are quitting. Everybody hates it. No, not me.
They're closing their doors in 3 months.
Exactly. No. And then I'm like, oh, it's a healthy company. It's keeping it cute in the news. Then I'm gonna say, is the stock price on an upward trend? Because we're not trying to, we want to be with winners. Winner, chicken dinner. So is it going up?
Yes.
And then if it is, we're like, all right, but what is it going? Is it at least $1 a day because your girl want to make some coin? Oh, average true range is giving $2-3 a day. Girl, it's giving, let me add it to my list. It doesn't mean I'm gonna jump all the way into it, but let me add it to my list.
Yes. So that would be the next thing. That would be like the next thing would be like, okay, how do I add it to my watch list?
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that. But at least, yes, you got it, Tiffany.
Look at me. Okay. So
look at you.
Yes. So
and let me
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So my answer on Chipotle.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Actually, before I answer Chipotle, I want to show you an example of a chart that looks like it's going down that you probably wouldn't expect, just so you can see the difference. So you see how this is going up? That's what it means to have an uptrend. Let me show you Disney, which you probably are like, oh, that would be another company I would have thought was a healthy company. Like, aren't all healthy companies on an uptrend? Disney is a decent company, but let's look at their chart. Let's make it big. Let's go to 1 year. Okay, 1 year is looking a little weird, but it was kind of going up and then it's going down, 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 down. If you look at it over even 6 months, it's just down, 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 down. So like this would be an alternative where you're like, oh, wait, over the last 6 months, it's just been going down.
Okay.
So maybe this isn't a company I want to invest in right now. Y'all see the difference between one that's just like always up versus one that kind of is going down?
Yeah.
Another idea or example of this would be, let's look at Zoom. Everybody's using Zoom. And actually, is this the right Zoom? Nope. I think Zoom's ticker symbol is ZM. Let me check. Yep. So the Zoom, the video, so that's why you got to look up the ticker symbol because the video company is ZM, not ZOOM. It gave me the wrong company. So if we make their chart big and let's look at year to date first. Year to date, it's going kind of sideways. 1 year still going sideways, but 5 years. And so give yourself some time to look at this to see the trend. But look at that. Since 2021, it's just been going down, 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 down.
We were using Zoom like crazy, but maybe not as much now.
Right. So you would assume like, oh, it's a healthy company. We use it every day. But that's why step 4 is so important of actually looking at the chart and seeing what the trend is of their actual stock price.
Okay. Can we put them to the test, Teri? Can we have them do some to do one?
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me tell you my thing on Chipotle, and then I'll let them do Nike, which is a hard one.
Okay.
Oh, it's a hard one. Oh, wait, should I give them an easy one?
We'll start with the easy, then we maybe do a hard.
So, okay, we'll do. Okay, let me tell you my prognosis. Let me stop sharing my screen. So, dun 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 dun, drum roll. Girl, I need to get my nails done. Okay, anyway. So for Chipotle, honestly, Chipotle is a tough one. I'm in it. I actually made some money in it recently. I got in it after the stock split because I do feel like it is a healthy company. It was on an uptrend for so long, and then it had this pullback after, and pullback just means then it started going down. Then it started going down after the stock split. But when I look at the news, it still seems like a healthy company. The stores are growing, not much changed. So for me as a trader, I think this is a really good opportunity. It's a healthy company. It's gone down in price, which means it's on sale. So I chose yes on this one.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And M Branch is like, no, Disney. Yes, the CEO changed. They are having issues with their streaming service. So Disney, you would have found out that it's not that healthy of a company as well when you looked in the news. And then looking at the stock chart, that would have just solidified your thoughts. I will say there is a difference. This is where there's a difference between a trader who wants to make income fast and a long-term investor. A long-term investor actually may see Disney as opportunity.
Okay.
Because we do know that in general, Disney's not going to go anywhere. And it used to actually do really well. Just lately, it's been having this kind of weird downslope. So a long-term investor may look at this as an opportunity. And I actually do have Disney in my portfolio for my foundation.
Okay.
Because the foundation, they got a little bit of time to spend. So sometimes, there's differences in trading or differences in expectations based on how long you can hold the stock.
Okay. All right. So we want to get them to do one? Let's do an easy one first.
Let's do Apple.
Okay.
Let's have them do Apple.
Okay. So first, everybody remember what's the first thing we're looking at for Apple? That one, is it a publicly traded company? So you want to pull up your screen?
No, they doing it.
Oh, they do. No, but I thought you could have just pulled so they could take a look on your screen. Because everybody doesn't might not have to.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if you're able, go to here.
We're going to go to Google.
Right.
And we're going to type in, is it a publicly traded company?
Yes. Yeah. So is it a publicly traded company? So yeah. So put like share your screen so they can still see it. We won't say anything, but we'll just look.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm sharing it.
Okay.
Wait, am I sharing it?
No.
Hold on. My bad. So Tiffany and I are friends, and we have this little friend group, and they were like, Teri's so nice. And I was trying to tell them, no, I'm not.
Meanwhile, yes, she is. Yes, she is. You heard she just gave $400,000 to a foundation. She has a whole nother other foundation. Teri is like one of the nicest people. We're like, don't try to be tough, Teri.
I'm not nice. No, I'm not going to show my screen.
So one, is it publicly traded? So what do we find out? So come on, y'all doing your homework. You're doing it. So is it publicly traded? Tell me yes, no. Let me know in the comments.
Oh, wait. I didn't put in the company. Is Apple.
So let us know in the comments. Is it publicly traded?
Is Apple.
Okay, we're seeing yeses. Shelly says yes. Shabana says yes.
And what's the ticker symbol? If it's publicly traded, y'all tell us what's the ticker symbol.
So number 2, what's the ticker symbol? Go ahead, pull it up. Jacqueline says yes. Yvette says yes. Yes. Melissa said yes. What's the ticker symbol? AAPL. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, look at y'all already. Okay. Got number 1 right. Got number 2 right. Let's see. Okay. So third thing, right? Let me just pull up the third thing. I'm like, child, look at me over here. Okay. So now we're heading over to what website, y'all? Remember what website we're heading over? I'm going to put it here just to give you a little hint. What website are we heading over to? Put it in the chat. Right? And then when we go to that website, the third thing we're looking for is, we're going to go to cnbc.com and we're going to look for the third thing, which is it a healthy company? Okay. So just start sharing some of the things you're seeing about this company. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to look at CNBC and this, like, what are you seeing about Apple? Share some of the news, just some highlights about the news. Like, Are you seeing, I don't know, like, are they growing? Or there's a new thing coming out. Just post some of that stuff. Apple has growth. Well, we're just looking at if it's healthy. So, like, what is the news saying about Apple? Pull some CNBC. I'm doing it myself. Pull some headlines and just type it in the thing so we can all look. I'm doing it myself. What was it? APPL? Is that what it is?
APL.
Okay. Oh, what did I do wrong? What is Apple trying to do? AA, child. That's why it was like, girl, we don't know what that symbol is. But it's
too. It was like, that is a nothing. That's
exactly. It was like, okay. All right. So let me see some of the news that I see. Big Friday stock stories. Apple job to make good products, not temporary protected stocks. Let's see.
Oh, and another thing is you can also look at news of the overall market too. Like today, like this article about Apple is talking about the Fed's rate cut. You would see that on the first page of CNBC. If they were just looking, if you were just to go to CNBC's homepage, you can just see like what's happening in the overall market too.
Okay. Because I'm seeing something. Apple pauses iPad OS 18 rollout due to problems on iPad Pro tablets. So they're pausing some sort of innovation.
Okay. And that's and these things you're just taking points. You're like, okay, they're doing that. Another thing you could look up is earnings. So I don't know why they don't make it easier to show the earnings results, like the last earnings results.
Okay. I'm just looking.
But just look at some of the news articles.
Okay.
I didn't see it. Go ahead. When I skimmed, I didn't see a ton that was super helpful, but at least you can still get a sense. Like, okay.
Yes. Okay. In general. Okay. So then that's number 3. So then number 4, we are looking at now. If we pull up, so you guys tell us. Teri's going to pull up on her screen, and you'll tell us upward or downward
on the trend.
So you're going to pull it up, and remember, you're also going to go to. Let's look at 1 year.
Yeah. So we're making our chart big. We're looking at 1 year.
Okay.
And it looks like, so it kind of went up and then down till about April and then started going up some more. And if you feel like, okay, I still don't have a good sense, just look at more time. So let's look at 5 years. Now, yep, it's on an uptrend.
Okay. Don't tell them their homework. Let the girls tell us. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all, is it on the uptrend? See, that's why I didn't want to show my screen, Tiffany. I wanted them to do it all by themselves.
Okay, so it's looking like it's on an uptrend. Okay, so that was really great because you're right. Sometimes when you like get too close, it's like what they call like a Monet, that the painter, who up close it looks kind of messy until the further back you go, the clearer the picture becomes.
So true. Oh, could you imagine like Starry Night, the picture? Like if you look at one part of it, you just see like some fuzziness, and then you pull it out and you're like, oh wow, this is beautiful.
Yes. Wow. Okay. And so we see that you guys are like up. Yep, it's on an upward trend. And then the last piece is, what is it again, Teri?
No, what is it again, people?
No, they're telling us. They said upward.
Oh, they're telling us. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, nope. Close my mouth. Okay, random story.
Okay.
Back in the day, I used to be a real estate agent, and I would help teachers move, like relocate into Dallas. And there was one time I went on this like trip, and I was showing a mom and a daughter around, and I was trying to do it like HGTV, where they show 3 houses and then they pick at the end. So they kept asking me like, okay, Teri, what do you think? And I was like, nope, I'm not going to tell you. You got to pick like HGTV. And then we'd get to the next one. Teri, what do you think? And I was like, no, I'm not going to tell you. And then at the end, they were like, so you didn't help us at all. And I was like, oh, shoot, that was my job as a realtor. I was so fixed on like the HGTV show that I wouldn't tell them anything. And then I forgot that was literally my job.
So who remembers how Teri showed us how to get to this last one, does the stock move at least once a day? So where are we going to go on the page? We're going to click on what? If you're on your phone and it's smaller, what are the 2 letters we're going to look for? Let me know. I'm not going to tell you because I'm like, this part is important. We're going to click on it's either listed in a word or these 2 letters. So how can you figure out if it moves at least $1 a day? Good. FX. So you're going to look for the FX symbol. And that's typically if the screen is smaller. And if the screen is bigger, you're going to look for what word. If it's not FX, then what word are you going to look for? Now go ahead, Charlene. Charlene said studies. Look at you listening, right? And so you're going to click on studies. And then once you click on FX or studies, which is the same thing, what are you going to type in so it can bring up the daily movement? What are you going to type in? Is you listening? Okay, Cheryl said average true range, ATR. Lisa says ATR. We got some smarty arty ladies up in the house.
We do. I cannot wait to keep teaching y'all.
So average true range. So now y'all tell us now that you are able to pull up the average true range. What is Apple doing like day to day? Like, is it giving you at least $1? Like, what's it? What's happening? What's happening? Let us know. We're not telling you. Oh, $9. It's on average $4. Okay, so giving you at least $1.
$10.
Okay.
So average Apple is moving, huh?
Right?
Like look at even today, it moved $8.18. Now today was a special day. Yesterday, the Fed said that it would lower interest rates by 0.5. So that means by 0.5%, they would lower interest rates. And there was a little bit of a lag, but the market reacted today.
Okay.
And was like all-time highs. The Dow went up huge. The S&P went up huge, and so did stocks. So this one jumped $8 today because we know that, hey, we're going to have more money in the economy because people can pay less in mortgages.
Okay. So overall, before Teri gives her feelings on Apple, would you say, yes, you can make money with Apple, or no, I can't make money with Apple? So yes, Apple, or no, Apple? What do y'all say with the 5 things we just learned? Like yes with Apple, no with Apple. Yes with Apple or no with Apple. Yes with Apple. They told me to let Teri talk. I'm sorry, I'll be talking a lot. I am going to try to pull back. I'm sorry. They be shaming me. It's okay. I take criticism.
Someone said they can't find the FX. Okay. When you first go on the page, if the chart is small, it'll be like this second one above the chart, right next to the candles. And I will tell y'all the truth, when you're really getting into this, your candle chart is going to be the real one that you're going to want to look at. But we're doing just the basics right now.
Yes.
So right next to candles is it's like a little plus sign, and then FX, that just means it's like formula.
Okay.
But studies.
So the girls will say Apple all the way. People say yes. Okay. The girls are saying yes. Teri, so if this was you, are you saying yes for yourself to Apple? Because we don't give investment advice. We're not going to tell you what to invest in. But for yourself, Teri, is it yes for you or no for you?
For me, Apple is a yes. This was one of the $1 million trades I made this year.
Tell us.
I like Apple. But I will tell you the truth. I got out of Apple. I made the $1 million trade first part of the year. I got out of it when it hit highs around it was around 230 when I got out of it earlier this year. Then it came down in price, and I could have got back into it and just made some more money, but I didn't get back into it. So it's one that I made good money with early in the year, and I still like it.
Okay. Wow. Teri made $1 million with Apple. Woo! So one day.
This year.
We claiming it. This is great. Okay. So y'all have the 5 things, right? One, because the teacher, the educator in us, we always gotta, recap, right? 1, is this company publicly traded? Y'all got that? 2, look up their ticker symbol if the answer is yes. Okay. 3, is it a healthy company? Basically, what's the T? What's the news saying? Like, what's being talked about when it comes to this company, right? 4, is the stock price on an upward trend? We're going to look at least 6 months to a year. Sometimes you need to pull out even further, upwards of 5 years. Okay. And then 5, does the stock price move at least $1 a day? And you go there by looking up FX/stories, right? And the
Studies.
studies, look at me, too much social media, studies,
You
right?
just look at the stories, on Instagram. If it be saying stuff, then you good. No.
And then the ATR, what does ATR stand for again?
Average true range.
Average true range, and it'll be able to tell you whether or not, on average, whether it's moving at least $1 a day. God, all right. So this was great. I feel like, girl, what do I need Saturday for? Because I know other things, Teri. I saw somebody say that, but is that true, Teri? I mean, now I can look at a company and reasonably feel good about whether I should invest or not. But if I was going to sign up for class for you on Saturday, which I am, what am I going to get on Saturday that's so different from today?
Now, you all now know if a company is good, but you still don't know how to actually place the trade. Like, how do you buy it and how do you sell it?
Mm-hmm.
So now we like Apple, but how do we know what buttons to press when we go into the platform? How do we know how to even open our account? How do we know how to sell it to make money? I see a lot of people like that. Teri, I bought a stock and I feel like I'm making some money, but I don't know how to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sell it to take your profit? So those are the things we'll walk through on Saturday.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the top 3 companies that I think everybody should own, which is talking about the overall market. So we'll talk through those 3 and actually work on investing in those on Saturday.
Okay. So by the end, just so I show you guys, if you want to sign up for Saturday's class, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 5-hour intensive. By the end, not only are you going to be able to identify the companies like we did today, but even better, to dive a little bit deeper and understand how to buy and how to sell them so you can actually make money. Because looking at companies don't make money. You have to go in and leave. Like, you have to buy and sell. So at the end of a 5-hour intensive, you'll know how to do that. And also, because ultimately it is important that we all know how to make additional money from our job. For some people, this is their job. But I think that everybody should have this kind of secondary, I call it going to the bank, Teri. So what that means is that, like, when I taught preschool and I was like, young and I had all this time, the way I used to go to the bank was I would babysit or tutor. And that going to the bank meant, like, I need to make extra money. So what's my bank? Child, you want me to watch your baby? Let me just tutor, and which was great when I was 22 because I didn't have any major responsibilities. And so, but as the older and older I get, the tighter my schedule. And so going to the bank, I don't have the time to drive Uber. I don't have the time to do Instacart. I don't have the time to do those additional things. So this is a way that you can go to the bank from the luxury of your home. Is it work? But it's work at home. You can tap in and learn how to, like, one thing that you told me, Teri, that I always thought investing meant I had to, like, it seemed so overwhelming. Like, I had to be looking at 20 different companies and you're like, girl, there's some people who only trade one company. Remember you told me that if, for those of you who have children, you know how you know your kids so well, you can look at them and be like, this baby got a fever. Come over here. I didn't got to touch you. Or like, what happened at school today? Someone was picking on you. You ever know somebody so well because you're with them day in, day out that you could tell when they're up and when they're down? Teri teaches that, 1, 2, even just 3 stocks that you can know just as well as you know your children, that you can tell when they're up or down so you can make a move that other people might not be able to spot. Because let's just say Apple is one of your babies. And you're like, I know Apple is, like, everybody else think Apple is sick, but I know Apple.
Yes.
Apple's not sick. Apple is chilling for a minute because I've seen this before because I've been watching it for so long. So that's what's so exciting is that you get to, Teri teaches you how to identify just a handful of companies that you are going to follow, know as well as you know your babies, your bestie, your man, your woman, your dog, your cat, and then navigate accordingly. And so it's just really, 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 really exciting. If you've already joined Budgetista Stock Bonuses, like if you've gone there for Teri's class, let me know, like joined, if you've joined. Right? And I know, so Teri, some people have asked, because some people took your 5-day class in April. Yes. Yeah. So what's the difference? Like, is it this just a more combined course, or can they take it again? Like, what is the difference?
Honestly, I would say it's going to be very similar. We're just taking all that information and then doing it in one day. So those people that were super busy and said they couldn't make the 5 days, this would be good. Or I would say if you did the 5 days and you're like, I just want to learn it again, then
Mhm.
you could also join, but it will be pretty much the same information.
Okay, so if you take it in 5 days, but or maybe the 5 days was too much, or you skipped a day, and you're like, okay, I can knock this out in one day, then this is going to be great for you. So Teri, for those people, you told me this, which I thought was amazing. You said if you had done Teri's class, the 5 days in April, and you invested, where would they be now?
Yes. Okay. So if you did it in April, last week the market was at 5,600, and
Mhm.
that was you were up 12% because
Okay.
we got in at 5,000. So it had gone up 600. We say points, but that just means dollars. It had gone up $600,
Mm.
and we invested in something called the SPY, which is an ETF. You'll learn all that on Saturday,
Mhm.
but it had gone up like $60. So you had already made 12% return. And now today the market went over 55,700. So
Okay.
now you're even higher. You're be like at 14% or something like that.
So
Just
meaning,
crazy.
like, if you had joined in April, that
Mhm.
and you put $100 in, you would have $114, right? Is that what you're saying? Give or take.
Yes. That
Okay.
doesn't sound as fun as the way I said it, but yes.
But let's just say they put $1,000 in, right? They would have it.
Wait,
Go ahead.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Which, okay, let me just say, somebody's probably like, all you made was $14, but you didn't have to work for it. That's
Mhm.
$14 you did not have to work for.
Yes.
And it's more than your retirement paid because your
Yes.
retirement paid like probably 2 to 5%, and you're up 12%.
Mhm.
So even if it doesn't sound like a lot, that's really good.
Because also too that's just 100, right? So let's just say you would have put in $1,000, you'd be up 140. But at that, thinking about that is that as you compound, as that you take that now $1,140 and reinvest, and then it just continues to grow and grow and grow. So yeah, I just think that, like, honestly, being able to learn, even if you took the 5 days, so someone's like, are you going to offer the 5 day again? This is that, but like in a shorter period of time, because Terry realized
Yes.
everybody doesn't have time.
Mhm. Yeah, we
Everyone
were
doesn't have
trying to
time.
cater to the people who are busy, or maybe you were at work and couldn't take all the time. We're bringing it to you. This is
Okay.
for you. Get it done in a day. Easy, simple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so Valor asked, how long is the program available? If Valor, if you see on the screen, if you decide to get the VIP admission, it comes with the replay. And what's so great about that is that that's for life. You can watch it as many times you want, like forever, forever. Somebody always asks this, which is great to know that there are international people here. Laura said, is it for international people too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you can use the skills that we're putting in there, you can use those as well.
Mhm.
And we even thought of a platform this time that's international. Like we actually worked on a brokerage that my friend in Singapore signed up for. So
Okay.
so yes, international should be able to do it with us.
And what if someone said, okay, but what if I don't have a whole lot of money to start with? What if I'm just like, does it, what if I really don't have much money to start with? Like, I have just enough to purchase the course. Like, are there ways I could do this without actually putting real money into the market?
Yes, during the program, we actually teach you how to use paper money and
Okay.
something called a simulator, and you can actually learn everything and then do it on the simulator until you can start working with your real money.
I love that. So, because you
Mhm.
might be like, look, I saved my 297 or my 397 because I want the replay, but I just can't consistently invest in the market. But learning how to do it paper money, and then when you're like, all right, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Now I can put my real money in. I love that. I
Yes.
love that.
And
Um,
the platform that we picked also, this one you can fund it with just $1.
ooh, I love that.
So that makes it nice too. Some of the other ones, like you got to put money in before they start showing you all the things, but this one you can just put $1 in.
And Melissa asked, what time is the class and how? So it's September 21st. So,
Saturday.
right, which is Saturday. So you really only have a little under 48 hours to register, because obviously once class starts, there's no, you can't register. Class has started. So we're closing doors Friday night, Friday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because class starts Saturday morning. So you have less than 24 hours, less than 48 hours to sign up for class. And it's going to be, Teri will send you, once you sign up, you will get a link to join class. So you'll be watching virtually.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you'll get, like, you'll get an email, you'll watch virtually.
And
Yes, go
I'll
ahead.
be oh, sorry. I'll be teaching live, y'all. So this is not a thing of like, oh, I recorded it some other time. Like, no, it's me and you all, and we're going and we're
Yes.
teaching. And you might say 5 hours is a long time, but we're gonna do it where we teach a little bit, take a little bit of a break, teach a little bit, take a little bit of a break, like a real class.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll feel, I think you'll feel good, like you've learned. For any of us that like have done continued education for any kind of program, you know, you do your workshop, you get it done in a day. I think you'll enjoy it.
Ooh, Yolanda took the class in April too. Yolanda, you're welcome to take it. Again, this is in 5 hours versus 5 days. Laura said she's super excited. Miss Zen said, thank you. Cheryl, come on. She said, I'd like to. Don't like to do it. Let's see. There's not a payment plan for this, is it, Teri?
No, not for this one. For this
Okay.
one, you just take it or just save for another time.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you. Angela May said, Teri, it's awesome. And
Yeah.
thank you all too for celebrating my win with Apple. I really appreciate that. You
Yes.
know, a lot of times when you're trading, nobody sees your wins except for you, which is a good thing because it's just you. You don't have to worry about a boss or anybody else, but also you don't get to celebrate sometimes. So thank you all for the positivity. I really appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And so again, you have about 48 hours if you're watching this live on Thursday night, because Friday night we're closing the doors so that way Teri can teach Saturday morning. Budget needs to stock bonuses. Not only do you get Teri's class with this, I have given additional bonuses if you sign up for Teri's class. And all that is on the site. Budget needs to stock bonuses. And also too, the good thing about this video today, this is just a free class that Teri taught. That this is a free replay. You'll be able to watch this again if you want to. The same link that brought you here, you can just watch it again. It will automatically become a video if you want to watch it and chill. Yeah, but if you are, if you're not able to, if it was me and I'm like, I really want to do this for myself, but I'm not able to on Saturday to take the class live, then if you could afford it, spring for the VIP because you can watch the replay, which is going to be really important. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't get things right away. If you notice, Teri and I are educators, so you notice how many times we did the 5 steps. Because we're aware that as a learner, you need to hear it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And speaking of that, I don't feel good not giving you guys all 5. So let me just give you some hints. For your homework, you still have Nike and Amazon. Nike is interesting because recently, after its earnings report, it reported that it wasn't healthy, that some things were going on. So try to look for some news, but try to look at news further back to
Okay.
see how it's doing and look at its stock chart to see, is it on an uptrend? Like pay attention to that one. And then
Okay.
for Amazon, I will give you some hints. Spoiler alert. They recently had a really nice run up. So their chart is probably going to look like a positive uptrend because they jumped like 20 points recently. Yeah, so that stock chart looks really nice.
All right. So real quick, Teri, just so they can look out for the email, Week Well said, who is the email coming from on Saturday, from like the link to class?
It should come from hello@tradeandtravel.com. And please, y'all, search for that in your email because I'm seeing that some of them are still going to spam. We don't know what's happening with the emails, but some of them are still going to spam. So definitely check for it. Put my name, put Trade and Travel to see if it's in your spam.
Yes. So I would just check, like type in Trade and Travel, type in Teri, Teri, especially her last name is very unique, Ijeoma, Ijeoma, because it should bring that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Ursula said, thank you for the repetition. We know how to do.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Teri. Can I just say thank you so much?
Pleasure. I really enjoy this and I enjoy just teaching. So anytime.
All right, y'all. We're going to see you on Saturday, right? I'm going to see you on Saturday. Because you only got less than 48 hours to sign up. Don't be cussing and fussing me out, because some of y'all do. When you get the email and I remind you and you're like, oh, I forgot. You should have done it. I'm like, I'm telling you now. Okay? I'm telling you now.
Mhm.
All right,
Yes.
y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.